Hi, and welcome to this different travel information session about our Land of the Northern Lights trek in Iceland, taking place from the 1st to the 5th of November 2024. My name's Jenny, I'm from the Different Travel Company, and I'm going to talk to you about this very unusual trek which takes you across some of Iceland's otherworldly landscapes. Before I talk about the itinerary, I'd just like to give you some details about the Different Travel Company's health and safety assurance. Your health and safety is our top priority, so please rest assured that we're taking steps to ensure that you not only have a memorable experience, but a safe one too. We constantly monitor and follow the advice of the British Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, who provide recommendations and advice to British travellers about travel to a certain destination. Health and safety is our top priority, so we will never operate a trip in an area where there is clear and present risk to our team members, whether that is due to a health outbreak, political instability, natural disaster, or anything else. If travel restrictions in either the UK or Iceland prevent safe travel, we will look to postpone the trip or cancel it at no cost to you. Please note that at the time of travel, there may be enhanced safety and security measures in airports. Bag drop may take longer, and you may need to provide a certificate of health or proof of vaccination. We will inform you of any information pertinent to your travel arrangements, if necessary, nearer the time. So on this trip, you're going to be joining a number of other adventurers on this exclusive trek to Iceland, which is going to involve 3 days of trekking across fields with bubbling mud pools and hot springs. You'll discover the peaks of Mount Hengill Heritage Site, and your return flights, meals, and accommodation are all included. The map here gives you an indication of where Iceland is located relative to the UK, and the red star indicates the location of Reykjavik, the capital city. In this zoomed in map here, you can see Reykjavik, and the 3 red circles show the rough location of the areas that we're going to be trekking in. Iceland is a Nordic island sitting in the North Atlantic and the Arctic Ocean, just outside of the Arctic Circle. It's the most sparsely populated country in Europe, and it has a constantly active geological landscape. It's littered with volcanoes, glaciers, mountains, geysers, and lava fields. And the capital city, Reykjavik, is the world's most northerly capital. It's the heart of Iceland's cultural, economic, and governmental activity. Established as the first Icelandic settlement in 870 AD, Reykjavik has gone through many changes in its long and storied history. It's home to the National and Saga museums, tracing Iceland's Viking history. On day 1, which is Friday, November the 1st, you'll fly from London to Reykjavik. The flight time is about 3 hours, and on arrival, you'll transfer to a hotel on the southern coast of Iceland. This is going to be your base for the next 3 nights, so you'll be able to settle in and unpack. This slide here just gives you a little bit of an overview of the typical landscape that you might see in Iceland. On Saturday, we'll be travelling from Nesjavlir to Reykjadalur and on to Höfðagerði. After breakfast, we will head out to start our day's hike, and we'll hike to Öldudalsháls across a field of geothermic activity with bubbling mud pools. We then continue down to the magical valley of Solfataras and hot springs called Reykjadalur, where those who are brave enough can take a dip in the natural hot river. So it will be a good idea to bring your swimming costumes with you on this trip and pop them in your day pack, because you may well find that you want to have a dip in the hot springs that we come across. After this, we'll continue to the car park near Höfðagerði, and that's where our bus will be waiting for us to take us back to the hotel for another night. On the 3rd day, we'll be travelling to the Mount Hengill area, and from here we'll hike up to the Furuskegi peak, which is about 805 metres high. From the top, you'll enjoy views of Lake Thingvellir and Langjökull to the north, and Eyjafjallajökull and the distant Western Islands. We then hike up to Mount Skeggi, the highest peak in the Hengill Heritage Site, and then we'll return back to our hotel for a dinner and a nice rewarding jacuzzi. The distance trekked on these 2 days is going to be roughly 13 or 14 kilometres. And on the final day, which is Monday, you're going to be trekking a slightly shorter distance of about 10 kilometres. So on this day, Monday, 4th of November, we'll be driving to the National Park of Thingvellir, and we'll take a hike along the fault lines that divide America and Europe. After the hike, we'll drive to Reykjavik, the capital city, and we'll settle into our hotel. And then in the evening, we'll have a celebration dinner where we'll be able to reflect on the highlights of this trip. On Tuesday, unfortunately, we have to bid farewell to Iceland and return to the airport for the flight home. We don't yet know what the flight times are going to be, but hopefully we'll be travelling later enough in the day to enable you to have a bit of free time in Reykjavik so that you get a chance to explore the city. So there may be a few things you're wondering about, and I'm going to run through some of those things now, such as accommodation and food. You're going to be staying in hotels for 4 nights on this trip. The first 3 nights will be in one hotel, and the fourth night will be in a hotel in Reykjavik. The rooms will be on a twin share basis, and single supplements may be available if you fancy having a single occupancy room. If that's the case, please get in touch with the office and they'll be able to give you an idea of the cost. What about the meals? Well, you'll be provided with plenty of hearty Icelandic meals on this trip. All the meals are included from dinner on your arrival day through to breakfast on your departure. Icelandic cuisine generally involves a lot of lamb, fish, and dairy. If you're vegetarian or vegan, or if you have any allergies or food intolerances, please let us know. You should do this at the time of booking because then we can make sure that we can accommodate your dietary needs. And if anything changes between the time that you book and departure, then please get in touch with the office so that we can update any details. Hygiene and toilet facilities. Well, all the hotels you're staying in have ensuite facilities, so your room will have a private bathroom with flushing toilet and hot showers. If you need to use the toilet during the trekking days, you should find a private area off the trail. Please never use any used toilet paper on the ground. You should bring some nappy sacks to put anything in, and then you can dispose of it when you get back to the hotel. How challenging is this trip? It's graded as moderately challenging for someone of a good level of fitness, and there's a number of factors that influence this. You're going to be carrying your own day pack every day, which will contain things like water, maybe some waterproofs, a camera or your phone, and possibly some snacks. The terrain's going to be varied. Underfoot, it may be a mixture of soft and hard ground, and some of it may be a little bit slippery. And there will be some hills as well. The climate is going to be chilly. It's November, so it will be really cool, and the nights will probably be quite cold. And you'll be trekking distances for 3 consecutive days, ranging from about 10 kilometres up to 13 kilometres per day. Please don't underestimate the importance of training. The more training you do, the more adept your body will be at recovering after a long day's trekking, so you can start each day well rested. You must take responsibility for arriving in Iceland as fit as you can be. How should I train? The most important thing is to just get outside and start walking. And if you're not a regular walker, start slowly with short distances. And then as you get more comfortable, increase your mileage and add in more challenging terrain until you can comfortably walk for several consecutive days on hilly terrain with a heavy backpack. Hill walking with a backpack should feature highly in your training to prepare your body. Other activities which can complement but not replace hill walking include running, cycling, gym workouts, and boot camps. Building up your core and leg muscle strength is important, so exercises such as squats, lunges, push-ups, planks, and crunches will really enhance your training. And these exercises can be done at home, so no gym is needed. You should take your training seriously and arrive as fit as you can be so that you get the most out of this challenge. You may have a few questions and hopefully I'll be able to answer them here. If not, please feel free to contact the office because they'll be able to help. Communication. It can be patchy in rural areas, but communication within Reykjavik should be no problem. But you're recommended to check with your network provider to find out about any roaming costs, and also you're advised to keep your data switched off so you don't get any unexpected charges. In the hotels, you should have Wi-Fi. You will need travel insurance and you must arrange this yourself. Different Travel is an unregulated introducer of Campbell Irvine direct insurance policies, and the website address is here on the screen, or you'll be able to find it on our website. There are plenty of other travel insurance companies as well, which you can go to. For footwear on this trip, trainers are unsuitable, and you will need proper walking boots. The minimum age is 18, or 16 to 17 if you're accompanied by a parent or guardian, and there's no upper age limit on this trip, provided you're fit enough to walk the distance. If you have a medical condition, you might be wondering if you can take part. We would recommend that you see your GP for a consultation. All medical conditions must be declared, and if necessary, a medical form may be needed to be signed by your GP. And you might be wondering whether you'll see the Northern Lights on this trip. This can't be guaranteed. This is not a trip that goes in search of the Northern Lights, but if we're lucky, we may experience them. However, it is dependent on local conditions. So please don't expect to see them, but if you do, it will be a great bonus. There's just a few images here of the typical type of landscape that you're going to come across on this trip. If you're wondering how much it costs, I'm going to run through the details and the different ways that you can fund this trip. A £375 registration fee is payable at the time of booking, and you can then choose one of the following options. Self-funded, where you pay your own tour cost balance of £1,450 by the 23rd of August 2024. And you're welcome to fundraise separately for any charity of your choice, but this isn't mandatory. Any fundraising undertaken may not be used for your trip costs. It must be kept separate. You might want to take the sponsorship route, where you fundraise £2,900 for your chosen charity by the 9th of August. This includes your £1,450 tour cost balance and a £1,450 donation to your charity. Or you can take the flexi route, where you pay your own tour cost balance of £1,450 and you fundraise a further £1,450 for a charity of your choice by the 9th of August 2024. If this sounds really interesting and you're thinking, well, I'd love to go to Iceland and it would be amazing to raise some funds for a charity at the same time, then how do you sign up? Well, you can visit our website, www.different-travel.com, and go to our trip and Iceland, Land of the Northern Lights. If you click on our trips, you'll find it listed. And then you just click Book Now, which will be on the right-hand side of the screen. Once you've filled in your details, just please pay the registration fee and then you'll be booked on the trip. If you're wondering what support you'll get along the way, if you fundraise for a charity, then that charity's fundraising team will support you through the challenge with your fundraising, and they'll be able to give you ideas and hints and tips about how to go about it. You'll also be provided with a full kit list of the things that you need to bring, a trip dossier, a training guide, and some discount vouchers. You'll be accompanied on the trip by a first aid trained Different Travel tour manager and professional local English speaking guides. And there'll be a pre-departure meeting with your teammates and Different Travel. And this is likely to be online because the trip will be appealing to people from a variety of places in the country. So if you have any further questions, we're really happy to answer them. Just contact us in the Different Travel office. You can email info@different-travel.com, or you can phone us on 02381 449 447. I hope this has been interesting and informative, and we look forward to welcoming you on the trip. Thank you very much for watching.